What's going on, guys? Dave back again, and today I have something, well, it's actually different from my channel, but I think it's something that you guys will find very interesting. So I've been doing a lot of research as far as 3D printers for minis and stuff like that, and I keep seeing people using these pickle trays, and I was like, what the hell is a pickle tray? And they're using them for washing off the leftover resin that's still liquid before they UV cure it and everything. And I was like, you know what? That would be perfect for washing both minis, your resin parts, your anything else. So I picked up a couple and I liked them so much, I ordered about 3 more. So I'm waiting for those to end up coming in. And I thought I'd show you while I still have one that's brand new and I haven't gotten it all wet and everything. But I've been testing them and they work really well. Now, as usual with everything, I will put links down below. In this, I have 99.9% alcohol, and sometimes it's a little hard to find. I'll put a link down there. I prefer the higher volume of alcohol over like the 90 or the 70% because there's still a lot of water in there, and it doesn't always work to get both the residue from casting your resin and kits like that. Plus the 99% alcohol, you can actually strip a lot of acrylic minis or acrylic pieces, and that way you're not having to use anything really harsh. Now, one thing I will say with the 99% alcohol is you should wear gloves when you're messing with it because it will dry out your skin fairly quickly. Now, my plans are have one for purple power, one for alcohol, one for soap and water, and then one for rinsing. So like I said, we have this one. I've been messing around with it. I actually left it sitting on its side and it didn't leak any. But one thing I will say about these is I would run the lid under hot water just to straighten up the lid and the seal that's in here. When I did first get these and I put some liquid in and I put it on its side, it actually did end up leaking. But once I ran it under the hot water, it actually fixed the seal, straightened out the lid, and it hasn't leaked since. So you have 4 locking clips that are on here. I mean, it's really simple, and there are knockoff or other brands of these, but this seems to be the one that is most popular. It's called a pickle tray. And the premise behind it is there is a tray inside that you can put your pickles, your whatever in, and then you have the juice. And then you pull out the tray when you're wanting your pickles. That way you're not having to dig in there, stab in there, and or stick your fingers in there. So it has 4 clips, pop off. It has a basket that comes out. Now these are, I believe, 1 liter or 1.5 quarts. I think that's about a liter. They do come in different sizes, 47 ounces. I think there's maybe a 32 ounce, and then there's one smaller than that. So these, as far as I can tell, are the biggest ones, but these are big enough and the trays are big enough that you could actually stick probably a whole broken down Gundam in here if you're wanting to strip it, clean it, do whatever with it. So the basket itself is pretty durable. It doesn't seem like the alcohol affects it at all. And my theory is, technically, you only need really 1 basket in the way that I'm going to end up doing it. But like in the purple power, I can put my parts in there and then with the lid on, shake it every once in a while to break up the paint that's on there. You can swash this out, swish it, pull it out, and then technically you could just go straight into your next wash. Now, one thing I will end up saying, depending on what you're wanting to put in here, if you're using these, don't fill it up all the way. You only want to fill it up, I would say, probably to this line right here. And there are markings in here, so somewhere between 700 and 900 milliliters. You do have to take into account once you put things into the tray of it dispersing the liquid, and the liquid will end up rising in the container, and you don't want to overflow. It's better to have a little more room. That's why this one, I only have it actually filled up about halfway. But once you end up getting the liquid in there, so for something like this, you could technically put this, oh, and this, oh, and this, oh, and this. Hey, I can put that in there. 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 You can just keep putting stuff in here. You dump that in. You put the lid on. You lock it into place. Then you can shake it. And then once you're all done, you could technically pop off the lid, swish it around like this, and if you're using it for stripping paint, the way that I end up suggesting is just slightly doing this as you're raising it up, and then any paint residue that's in the bottom down here, which there are slots, will filter down into here. And then you can strain all that off and just recycle. But once you get this out, you can do your wash bucket, you can do that in there, shake it off and transfer it over, and then dump them out to dry. So you don't have to buy these. They are Amazon links that are down below. You don't have to buy them from there, but I actually checked a couple places, and the only place I ended up finding them was I think Bed Bath Beyond actually had some, but they were almost double the price of the Amazon price. I think these were $11 each on Amazon, where they were like $19 at Bed Bath Beyond. But that was the only place I could find here in town. But this was something I was excited to share with you guys, especially before I end up breaking into it. And I think this is going to make things a lot easier just in the flow between, you know, when you get a kit or a resin kit, it is always suggested to wash it first. So I would wash it in, depending on what kind of kit and how the residue is, wash it in the alcohol, then wash it in warm soapy water, and then rinse it clean. Then just lay them out and let them dry. You can use a hair dryer on them if you want, but I just lay them out to dry, let them sit for a day and just air dry, and you should be good. If you're stripping, then you would go into your purple power, and then you could do your soap and water, or you could do the alcohol, but usually it depends on what your paint is. Purple power seems to work on lacquers, it works on enamels, it works on acrylics, it pretty much works on everything. So that's my go-to. I'll put a link to it down below too. In some countries it's called Super Clean, that works too. So I'll put links to everything down below. Make sure and check them out. But again, yeah, pretty handy dandy. I might get a smaller one, but I think I have these two, and then I have 3 more on the way, which makes a total of 5, and all of my things should be good. One of them I'm going to use and just have clean alcohol in for cleaning brushes in and dumping airbrush parts. You can do these, you can use these for your airbrushes too. If you break them down, put the parts in there, you can do it that way as well. All right guys, I want to thank you for hanging out with me. I will see you guys all in the next video. More resin stuff coming. Peace out.